Yeah, hi, we're live. Sorry for the delay. I haven't streamed in so long that actually the stream keys got reset, so I had to update those, and then I didn't reload Nginx, so streaming did not work as intended. So let's see, just to make sure, yes, we're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube. If anyone wants to say hi in chat, please feel free to do so. Hi, Peter. Basically the idea for tonight is to take a look at the new plugins Korg released. They basically released a plugin version of their hardware synthesizers, the OPSIX and the Wavestate. Let me pull up the page quickly, one sec. Okay, so yes, so the OPSIX native, it's basically a software version of their OPSIX synthesizer. Oh, it's in German. Let's change the language here when I find the button for it, or let's try to update it like this. Maybe, nope. Always. It's always great when companies think they know better which language the user wants then. So let's try this. Europe. I can directly set the language. So if I click on Germany, I guess it will always be in German. Yeah. Well, let's just change it over to UK. Thanks. Yeah, I like it. It's blue one. The lipstick. I saw it on Reddit and had to get it. Now let's try this again. Let's switch it to UK and hopefully this works. Yeah, the OPSIX native is a software version of their OPSIX synthesizer. The OPSIX is a FM synthesizer, and yeah, it's basically using the same algorithm as in the DSP chip of the OPSIX. And the other product they released a couple days ago, it's almost 2 weeks now, is the Wavestate native, which is a software version of the Wavestate wave sequencing synthesizer. I have the trial versions of both installed. Oh, that was a jam I did before. Try that or something else. But let's just get started and pull it up. So let's see, Korg. Let's maybe start with the Wavestate because the default patch is quite cool. Yeah, the default patch is called Unpredictable ARP. And as the name suggests, it uses an arpeggiator. So let's try. So the thing is, the Wavestate synth is a wave sequencing synthesizer, which means, and also it's actually more. It's a wave sequencing synthesizer and also a vector synthesizer, which has to do with the joystick here. And you can have 4 layers, and each layer is, you can either switch to wave sequence mode or to single multi-sample mode. The wave sequence mode is basically basically the Wavestate is. Wave sequencing was something that was introduced back when Korg released the original Wave Station. That was a synthesizer Korg released back in, when did they release it? In the early 1990s, yeah. And it was pretty revolutionary back then. And the way it works is basically you have a sequencer of very short samples. And here you can and each wave sequencing layer has multiple lanes of sequencer lanes. So the one is basically a timing lane, which is basically you can, instead of just having like a steady time from going from, like, let's say you have the sequence and you just put it to 1/8 notes. You can change. Can have a sequence that changes the timing. This patch has one like that, and another sequence line is the sample sequence line, and that's where the wave sequencing comes from. Basically, you have a very short sample, and you chain one very short sample after the other. So if I basically just play a note here, you see the sequencers running. Another sequencing lane is the pitch sequencing lane, which just is the pitch, and you can see it here in semitones. The shape is basically a modulation sequence of shapes. You can route via the modulation matrix to basically almost anything. And gate is the gate length. And the step sequencing is basically an arbitrary modulator with a value between -100 and +100. You can basically also route to almost anything. And a couple of those lanes can be influenced by other lanes, like the pitch lane can use the shape lane, also the step sequencer lane can use the shape lane. And for example, you can set a trigger that the shape lane controls the volume. So on top of that, basically there's the normal thing, like you have on the end of the whole thing, for each layer you have a filter. The filter can be modulated. Then the pitch can be transposed. There's a pitch modulation, and then it also has envelopes, like a filter envelope, amp envelope, and a pitch envelope, plus a couple of LFOs. And the mod processors that basically can combine other modulation sources in some fashion. So far along that, I haven't really played a lot with the plugin yet. I just basically know the basics of how the whole system works. But that's it. I think we are still online. Yes. Just wanted to make sure that the stream is still working. So much for a short intro to wave sequencing. Let's take a look and play around a bit with the plugin. So it comes with a ton of presets. Like for, there should be some presets in there, I think. Or is it just waveforms that are from the original Wavestation? But I can't remember. So let's just maybe go to init patch. Okay, yeah, let's see, what do we have for timing here? Timing lane. So that's an interesting sound. Let's see what the init setup is. Anything with the init patch, also the what other thing the init patch does. So modulation list. Oh, that's actually a ton of modulations already defined for it being an init patch. So, wow, that's actually quite a lot. Why are so many modulations in the init patch? Let's see. So we have reverb roll off from reverb edit 3, reverb edit 2, reverb edit. Okay, that's interesting. Didn't expect like the. Oh, thanks for this. Why can't I see it? What's going on with Twitch that it doesn't show me stuff? Thanks for the follow, the merchants. So, well, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with the modulation matrix, that it's so full in the init patch. That's kind of weird. Let's maybe look on a different patch. That's also a lot of stuff in the modulation matrix. Let's listen to that patch for a sec. Oh, that sounds interesting. Huh. So let's see. Basically, that should control. Yes, that control. On top here, you have 8 macro knobs, and that one they are basically on the hardware version. They are labeled with a couple. They are labeled in silk screen, but basically you can use them for anything. But there is like a convention that, for example, the macro 3 is used to in some way influence the sample lane. For example, when I play and turn this up here, it changes which sample is playing, but it's only like it only takes effect on the next gate, so next key press. And by the way, right now everything is that's straight out of the plugin. There's like no other processing involved in any way, like no reverb. The reverb is everything is from the plugin. And yeah. What I know is that it comes with like a huge library of sounds, and you should be able to go to the librarian view. You can actually see the wave sequences. Those are basically all the samples that come with it. Yes, and then you can see that actually a whole bunch of them are from the original Wavestation. They're like there are exact copies of the samples that were on the original Wavestations that were sold in the 1990s. So let's give me a second. Maybe we'll do a change here something in OBS so you can actually see me. Normally I have like this setup for playing with synths. So basically my normal picture-in-picture setup also has the overhead cam looking down on the polybrute. But let's just make a copy of this one scene here and paste the camera into it. Yeah, that works. Okay, so Basecamp plus plugins. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat. I'm trying to keep up with them and answer all of them I can. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, yeah. Let's just try again to explore some sound design. Like import this plugin from scratch. I think if you can like figure out how to use a plugin without reading the manual, that speaks for its user interface. But I have the feeling that the Wavestate is something you can do that way, but I'm not entirely like unfamiliar with it because I watched a bunch of videos on the hardware, including LoopOps tutorial. So I basically know how wave sequencing works, just not how the plugin works, and a ton of stuff is very different. Like the modulation matrix is completely different also to the librarian software that you can get for the Wavestate, which like in the version 2.0 firmware, you can, starting with 2.0, you can actually edit the Wavestate with the librarian because people like complained that it was just too difficult to do everything on the tiny display it has. So let's try to make sense of this. Okay, so the timing lane right now is it's a node, rest, or gate. And so those little flags on top mean basically you can set a start and an end point for like the sequence and a start and end point for the loop. So if I like press it down, you see that the top corner is like the loop length. So now its loop end is in the second step. So that changes right now. Yeah, okay, right now the macro knobs don't do anything. Good, okay, so that's the init timing lane. You can set the time in seconds here, but not in like notes. That's interesting. Now, what's the difference? Like, if I pull up any, if I pull up like a preset, we have here note durations. Oh, I think I know what's going on. You can set the duration here, but the duration now is here in seconds and not in note lengths. Let's see. So let's just pull up a preset again. There I am able to select note length synced to the tempo, not just like seconds or something. Oh, here, that button. Why didn't I see that before? So okay, so if I click here, it's tempo mode, and then I can like select something. So duration now is set. Yeah, and now I can select the duration based on steps. So for example, I can make it a fourth note, and let's make, for example, that note eighth, and now why does it not loop? No, that's not right. Why is it starting here? Not that's not how it's supposed to work. Duration 1/8. That's not really working right now. Something is also weird with the plugin, like with the text that is overlaying here. Oh, X fade time. Let's set the X fade time to 0. Now that looks better. Let's see, what do we have on waveforms here? One sec. Okay. Okay, that doesn't sound very nice. Maybe it's just limit the loop to the first sample. Okay, that sounds like fret noises. So maybe let's see, what do we have here? We have let's pick an acid bass. Okay, let's pick some lower keys here. So bass, acid bass 2. Where was it? Oh, it was here. Synth bass acid 2, and like let's change the length all the way over here. So now yeah, basically you can just put together a wave sequence, and I think learning sound design with that thing is quite a task. And the trial period is over, so I have to restart the VST quickly. That was the wrong button. Let's do that quickly. So just close it and open it again. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Anyway, so let's see. Korg. Wavestate native. Okay, I think like figuring out the sound design part of the plugin, everything will take too long. So maybe just like play around with some of the presets. So that we have unpredictable ARP we already had. Let's try something else. Let's look what we have on brass presets. A glitchy brass preset, okay. Weird. Insidious horns. That sounds cool. Take a closer look. Oh, actually, it takes now advantage of like all 4 layers. I'll give it a play a bit. Sec to untangle. Oh, and I spilled coffee. Well, that's just great. 1 sec, I'm back in a bit. Okay, and we are back again. No more coffee spill. So yeah, one's about to look at that preset. See if the modulation wheel does something. That's definitely a cool patch. So if I move around the joystick, what happens then? Let's see. You just basically go panning between the layers. Yeah, so what else? How about pads? 10 pads on sample knob. Okay, so let's give this a try. Oh, that sample sounds familiar. Let's see. So if I go to wave sequencing, I can see which sample it chooses. That's cave junction called that sample. So Dream Ensemble. That was the one we heard in the beginning. So now we have Danelli's cello. Pianos and clouds. Oh, that sounds like a fun thing to use for ambient stuff. Fortuna. Cymbal flute. Okay. Now, what else do we have here? A choir. Then a flute pad. Oops. Okay, there's like a bug in the user interface. It was just dragging the knob, not actually changing the value of the knob, but like dragging the symbol. So flute pad. Again. Well, that's about as far as we can get with the knob. So maybe if we now change this, oh, we can't easily change that, so I have to like move this over here. Yeah, now that works. So if I turn down the macro again, we start at the flute pad. We already had that. So now the safe place. Yeah, fun stuff. Dream Ensemble. Wait, we already had that. Oh, it's just repeating. Oh, I didn't notice that. So basically, they're just like 2 times after the same samples. Oh, well, okay. Let's look at the next preset. Aquaphone. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Now we actually are in the single multi-sample mode. Basically, what you can do is like you can load a multi-sample. So you can, multi-sampling is basically if you take multiple samples from a single instrument, so for example with different pitches. And also different pitches is the only multi-sample mode Wavestate supports. And this does not make very much sense, like if you use this on a PC as a plugin, I think the single multi-sample mode is not very interesting unless you can combine it with the vector synthesis mode, so the multiple layers. Otherwise, you have tons of different better options on a computer for multi-sampling. Like any DAW basically has built-in multi-sample support. But the thing is that the Wavestate native plugin is 100% compatible with the presets you create on the actual hardware and vice versa. So basically what you can do is you can use the plugin to create presets and do sound design in the studio and then transfer them onto the actual Wavestate and use them there, for example, during a performance to something. And that's pretty neat. Also, generally, if it's also, I guess, a very handy tool for like sound designers who release packs, preset packs for a ton of different hardware, and then they don't actually need the hardware Wavestate. They can just use the plugin to create the sample pack, and people, regardless if they're using the plugin or the actual hardware, will be able to load them. So let's give this patch a try. Oh, that's interesting. Very soft and subtle. Let's see how the other layer sounds. So layer B is basically more like ear candy, and layer A is the pad part. What do we have now? Beauty walks and violence. Wait, what? Oh, so that's basic. Oh, that's interesting. Let's look at that wave sequence going on here. That's a cool idea. Basically, you have multiple different choir sounds, and they're sequenced in this way. And layer A is a pad sound. That's just a single sample. So, and if I guess correctly, this is not. That's interesting. I thought it was like split into two sounds, because apparently not, but for some reason if you like play the lower sounds, you can't really hear the violin very well. Oh, okay, I see. So you can see that basically the samples, the loop changes depending on the pitch. So basically they map the key track to the sample lane controls. So if I play a higher note, it starts with the violin. And if I play a lower note, it completely skips the violin part. That's interesting. Or is it just random? Let's see, look on the mod list, sample lane. So yeah, the mod processor 2 is mapped to the sample lane start and end step and loop end. So if we look at mod processor 2, it's gate above, it's above node number. That's basically how it works. And threshold is a fixed value. So I guess if it's 0%, that's basically C3. Yeah, if it's above, oh, you can actually see it. Like you see the mod processor, if it's a node starting at C3 or higher, the mod processor is like logic 1 or like 100% because the value is set to a fixed value of 100, and everything below C3 it's at 0, so it does not move the loop start point, which makes everything above C3 start with the violin. See if the mod wheel does something. Nope. But it's a nice patch. Yeah, so basically that's a short look at Wavestate plugin. Maybe look at one more preset, and then I'm pretty sure the 20-minute timer will be up again. So just for fun, now I'm curious. Box of chocolates. I'm interested. What's box of chocolates? Okay. So basically a random sample and hold mapped to the sample. Every time you press a key, it's something different. So the next is chug in the just for fun section. Yeah, that's a cool beat. And I think the 20 minutes are over. Pretty sure they are, because the sound does not make a sound anymore. Yep, they are. So let's take this as a cue to switch over to the OPSIX native. I played around with the Wavestate a bit before, but with the OPSIX I actually haven't touched it up until now. So let's see how this goes. I'm also not very good at FM synthesis. Basically I know the basics, but that's it. So let's see, let's move this a bit over to the left so everybody can see it. So it's just an init patch. Let's see. So we have the 6 operators here. We have pitch modulation, level modulation, so the modulation of the operator value level. Then we have an envelope generator for each operator, and key tracking. Okay. So let's see, what do we have? Let's see, some preset at first. Dark pad. Oh, that's interesting. So the OPSIX native plugin has like a preview for every preset. That's cool. It's oh, it loaded it. Okay, so okay, and here you have the different waveforms. So I see. So we have a sine wave with a resolution of 12-bit. Then here we have a sine wave plus the second harmonic. On top of it, then another sine 12-bit, a saw, a square, and another saw. Everything with a ratio of 1 except for operator 2. Interesting. And yeah, let's give this a play. Interesting. So I guess if we would look at operator 2. Oh, okay. You can actually do tons of different stuff here. You can set ring mode, filter FM, wave folder, effect, bypass, or mute. That's interesting. So basically it can do way more than basic FM synthesis. Huh. So I'm pretty sure that like operator 2 has like its level completely on a yeah, there you can see it, the envelope. Basically it's just Neck 2 is basically just like a strike, because it's decaying so fast it's only influencing operator 1 in the beginning. Anyhow, let's listen at the next preset. Oh, I have to unmute it every time. Hello? Interesting. Okay. So the ear candy in the beginning is like very velocity dependent. Notes with high velocity is like this, and if I just press it slowly, you can just hear the pad part. Oh, also nice after-touch modulation. Influences the LFO. That's a cool patch. Huh. Yep, that's... They have a ton of cool presets on here. That's getting hard. So, digital insects. What's up with that one? Huh. That's a very classic pad sound. OPSIX concert. Oh, concrete. Huh. No, that's a great sound for chords. So let's see, what do we have? Lead sounds. Oh, that sounds cool. Yep, that's a cool lead sound. So let's see. Brat lead. Okay. How does this sound? Not what I expected with that name. The lead. What's up with that one? Let's hear what the preset sample sounds like. Expected something more punchy with that name, or more acidy. Talkie lead, what's that? Why did it mute again? Okay. Now that sounds very electric guitar-like. So, pray lead. Okay. Run stick lead. Mixed pulse lead. Interesting. Okay. That's interesting. So I'm curious, like, okay, like that's the synthesis part. Oh, over here you have the effects section. You have a guitar amp. What else do we have on effects? Chorus, unison, phaser. That's synced to the timing. Autopan synced. Flanger synchronized. Rotary speaker. Okay. An auto wah-wah panel, exciter, enhancer, LFO filter, freeband EQ, distortion, guitar amp, decimator, grain shifter, master limiter, compressor, delay, time synced, autopan delay, time synced, autopan delay. Oh, time? Okay, that's like not synced, that's synced. Tape echo synchronized. Early reflections, reverb, shimmer reverb, and a spring reverb. Okay, so let's give this a play. That sounds awesome. I know why so many people like the OPSIX and Wavestate so much, especially the OPSIX. I've heard like tons of good stuff about it, but I didn't know it was like that fun. So let's see, what else do we have here? Categories, keyboard. So I guess some classic keyboard sound. So an electric piano sound. Yeah, you can do pretty FM synthesis. You should be able to make electric pianos quite simply, in quite simple fashion. Yeah, it's basically exactly what I expected. Like, you can do electric pianos with an FM synthesizer, and they have a certain vibe to it. They don't really sound like a electric piano, like how an actual one would sound like. I mean, you can like pull one up quickly. For example, if I go over here and let's see, where do we have? So if, for example, we pull up a Wurlitzer, and no, I almost thought live crashed, but it did not. Just took a while. So So that's like a Waltzer, and compared to like the electric piano sound of OPSIX. I'm pretty sure you could actually do a better patch than that. I can't, but pretty sure you could. Original FM E piano. Even that sounds better. Okay, what else do we have? Just hang on. Well, so FM vamp. Bouncy. Okay. Soft paddy electric piano. It's a bit harsh, the top end. Like, I think if you would like put a filter on it, let's see, a filter, remove that cutoff maybe a bit. That's more soft. So, what else do we have? MB signs. Wait, just go to preset listen mode. Overcompressed. Huh. Overcompressed sounds like this. Extra knock EP. Okay, so here we have a pulse clavier. Funky. Oh, nice. I have to give this a play. So. So in the lower notes struggle a bit, but up here. Fun. Oops. That was my expression pedal. Okay. That's definitely also a fun preset. Space organ. What does the space organ sound like? And we reached the end of the trial period. Yeah, definitely also a fun plugin. Yeah, I might call this an end for tonight because I'm getting tired. But it was fun. It was like a spontaneous idea to do this stream. And to basically get my feet wet again with this type of streams. Anyway, I hope you had fun watching, maybe learned something, and calling it for tonight. So bye.